Give and take in relationship. That's the topic for today. This is Shauna White, Heartfelt Intimacy Coach, helping people decode the energy flow dynamics in their communication that either create intimacy that flows naturally or block it. And today's topic, very relevant to that fact or that dynamic, is give and take in relationships. So the reason I'm covering this is for this has come up a couple of times. So someone I was talking with had this question when she listens to her partner talk about his day, and she feels like she's giving him attention, and he's talking about the things that are bothering him, and then she feels like she would like to experience reciprocation. So then she starts to talk about her day, and he doesn't pay attention, and that doesn't feel very good. So she's kind of wondering about that. And this came up again in a different form with someone who posted this. She said, "Does it matter how you ask for a kiss from your significant other? My partner was leaving and I asked if I could have a kiss before he left. Later, he was upset because I asked if I could have a kiss and I didn't tell him I wanted to give him a kiss. It's perplexing to me. Did I miss something?" Well, both of these situations get to this issue or are orbiting around this key issue of give and take in the relationship. It is part of GARP, generally accepted relationship principles, to view relationship in the through the lens that both people have needs, and we're supposed to, it's normal and healthy in relationship that we meet each other's needs. And so relationship is kind of like this place of emotional commerce where we both figure out how to take care of each other, take care of each other's needs. And the thing is that needs always create pressure. Now, sometimes your partner will absorb that pressure because they're into the, I'm going to go ahead and use the word codependent dynamic. So they like that you need them in a certain way, and so they're happy to fulfill that need. I know when I was happy to fulfill the needs of a former partner in my past, the reason why I was happy to fulfill those needs, so happy, so stewardess-esque about meeting his needs, the reason was because I wanted him to need me, because that made me feel secure that he loved me, or that I would be able to continue to feel his attention, which felt like love to me. So I wanted to be needed for that reason. But so that's an example of how your partner might respond well to the expression of your needs. But generally speaking, needs create pressure because they feel controlling. And they also feel, I don't know if you've ever felt someone who was needy and you didn't really want to be in a relationship with them, but they were trying to get you into a relationship and their energy was really needy. Like, that's a more vivid experience of how needy energy feels. So even when you're in a relationship with someone you want to be in a relationship with and you love this person, the moments when they get a little needy could be annoying, could feel claustrophobic, could feel controlling. And so if you are the other person in a relationship, put the shoe on the other foot, if you are trying to connect with your partner and you want to do that in a way where you're now embodying a need that you have and you want them to fill for you, they might not do that and it might not go well. And if that's the case, it's very often the case that it doesn't go well. And the reason is because of it feels controlling. It feels controlling, it feels needy, it feels sticky, it feels different than the energy of feeling connected inside yourself and giving into the relationship from that place. So even in this situation where she asked for a kiss and he was upset because he's like, why are you taking from me? Why are you needing from me? Why do you want me to fill the void in you? Why don't you express your affection for me? Why don't you give a kiss to me? It's such a small thing, but it's such a perfect example to illustrate this energetic dynamic that plays out in all different kinds of ways in relationship. Giving is like an investment, an energetic investment in your relationship, giving appreciation. But here's the other thing, and I'm thinking now of this other person who mentioned that she listened to her partner go on and on about what's stressing him out at work, and then he didn't want to listen to how her day was. In order to give into the relationship, we also have to honor our own space. So if she felt like she went out of balance listening to him, that it wasn't really an authentic expression of her, what feels right for her in that moment, to be sitting there listening to him, or listening to him for that long, or listening to him without asking any questions, or whatever it was. I don't know what the details were of how that conversation went. But if she went out of balance in herself listening to him, that's not really giving into the relationship in the way that I'm talking about. That is, that's the other side of the codependent coin of sacrificing your self, sacrificing your inner alignment in order to do something that you think you need to do in order to get love, ultimately, in order to get love. Because if she listens to him talk about his day, then he's going to listen to her talk about her day. Maybe it's not that premeditated. It's not that selfish, really. It's just a desire to connect. But it's operating at this superficial level of doing things for each other in order to connect, where the real sweet spot is when you connect inside yourself and then you honor that in how you approach your partner. And that maybe that means listening to him talk about his office day. Maybe it means asking him why he's talking about that right now. Why are you telling me this right now? Because I don't understand how you're relating to me. That sounds like you're just venting, and I'm not really feeling connected to you right now. Can you come present? Not that I would say those words, can you be present now? Maybe you do. You got to see what's authentic. But the thing is that this paradigm that we have needs and relationship is about getting our needs met, or that's a very important and big healthy key in relationship, is a problem. And people wonder why they have problems in their relationship. And they have problems because of, largely, often, a lot of problems in a relationship that is a functional relationship, that could be a really amazing, beautiful relationship, but there are problems blocking in the way. Often this is the thing that's in the way. It's this idea that we have needs and that our needs need to be met, and our partner needs to meet our needs. And of course, they won't meet all of our needs, but they should meet some of our needs. And this emotional commerce is fundamentally transactional. It is far below I'm going to get on a soapbox here. It's far below the potential of the human being to express the true essence of what we are. Is love itself. We are love itself. But the problem is that we don't know that, and we don't know how to experience that. And because we don't know how to experience that, we try to get it out of our partner instead. And this causes a sucking energetic dynamic in the relationship. And people feel exhausted by it, or they don't like it, or it doesn't feel good, or it feels controlling. And that causes a breakdown in connection and communication. It's simple, but the remedy is not so evident. And that's why I coach people, because when you want to shift out of that dynamic, you've got to find a level of connection inside yourself that we're not taught how to do in this world. But I was taught this. I've been studying this for 29 years, and it has transformed my experience of relationship with everyone, with my colleague in this work, with who's will be coming out with a book soon, by the way, if anybody's interested, and with my family members, with my sweetheart, now going on soon to be 5 years in a really, really lovely relationship where there are no control dynamics. Sometimes it comes up a tiny, tiny bit and it creates a bump in the road, because it always does, but we resolve it really quickly, really easily. And the default state that we have together is one of giving into the relationship and supporting each other without controlling each other. And it's really beautiful and lovely. But in order to create this other dynamic where intimacy flows easily and naturally, and communication flows easily and naturally, you've got to switch to a place of interconnection in yourself. And that is hard to do. It's confusing because all of us grow up learning how to be a survivalist, focused on what we need outside and how to get it. And there's a lot of subconscious patterns that keep us stuck in that way of going about things. So that's why it really helps to have somebody help you out of that. I have had support for myself for 29 years. Now, in the recent years, I need less support because as you grow up in this work, you become more self-sufficient. You can catch your own subconscious stuff and get out of it more easily. But and actually, I'll tell you something really cool that I discovered today working with one of my clients. She was able to move from an early chapter of development, which is very like self-analytical, to in order to make the shift from that I need state to that connected inside and flowing state. The first chapter tends to be more analytical because you're watching through your conscious mind what the signs are and then trying to find your way, right? And then after a while, you shift to this energetic ability to feel the energy of when you're in the I need state versus in the interconnection state. And when you can shift to detecting it via energy instead of through a more psychoanalytical perspective, then it gets really fun and much easier to make that shift. She made that shift from, we'll call it chapter 1 to chapter 2. Well, first I'm going to tell you, I made that shift in a number of years. It took me, I don't know, I would guess probably 5 or 6 years to go from the chapter 1 of psychoanalyzing myself to try to get myself into a state of connection to that energetic sensing, which just makes it so much easier and more fun and fluid to get into that state of connection. I think it took me, it's fair to say, 5 or 6 years to go through chapter 1 to get into chapter 2. She was able to do it with my guidance in, let's see, a few months. I mean, we worked together for 10 weeks and then she took some time to consolidate, and now we're working together again. And she popped into chapter 2 where it's more fun, more energetic. Of course, it's not, there's always fluctuation, but once that starts to open up, everything is so much more fun and easy, and integrating comes more easily, more quickly. So all that to say, that I've been working on this for 29 years so that you can do it much faster if this is something that you want to work on and you want my help with. And if there's something you want to work on and you want my help with it, then put flow intimacy in the comments and I'll reach out to you and we'll have a conversation. But otherwise, getting back to give and take in the relationship, anytime there's take, anytime there's need, it's going to cause some breakdown of connection and communication. And giving into the relationship in a way that it comes from a state of connection inside yourself is the secret to creating heartfelt intimacy that flows naturally in your relationship. All right, that's it for now. Take care.